Welcome to another episode of Sons of Thunder. Sean, we got a video today, don't we?
That's right. Why don't we just roll that video?
Roll that.
Listen up, buckaroos. Women do have their own spaces, and their spaces are with trans women, and if you don't like that, then you're the one who's not the real woman, and we all know where you shouldn't be, and that's in space with other women, because you are a danger. Goodbye.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That makes me want to puke.
Yeah, it's kind of a pukey.
What are we watching here? What is this?
This woman, trans woman, this guy.
It ain't no woman.
The 5 o'clock shadow. It's saying she is saying that trans women belong in women's spaces and vice versa.
Yeah, that's derogatory towards women if that's supposed to be a man.
Yeah,
or a woman. Sorry.
Like I said, that guy is, or that trans woman is basically culturally appropriating femaleness, in my opinion.
Okay.
But what he's trying to say is that trans women not only deserve to be in women's spaces, but if you don't think so, then there's something wrong with you, that you're a bad person. In fact, you're a danger is what that guy said.
It sounds like he said if you're a woman that doesn't agree with them, then you're not a real woman. What, that doesn't even make any sense.
Well, yeah, he's saying you're a bad person. That's what the left always does. If you disagree with the left, they say you're a bad person. But at any rate, that's kind of what we're talking about here today is, do trans women belong in women's spaces? And specifically what we're speaking about is, do they belong in women's sports?
Yeah, I got a lot for that, but I could tell you one thing. Dave Chappelle already said if LeBron James would just wear a wig and look like a woman and go into the WNBA, he'd have like 86 points a night, right? Because it's just, there's such big gap between men's sports and women's sports, and it's mostly because of the strength.
Yeah, well, it largely is. That's very true. But it's not just a matter of, is the competition fair? And that's a big thing. It really is. Is the competition fair? But it's also a matter of safety. Let's roll the second video here, Skeeter, if you would, please.
A high school girls' basketball game had to recently be forfeited by one team at halftime due to injuries. The Collegiate Charter School of Lowell reportedly forfeited its game against KIPP Academy as KIPP featured a transgender player on its roster that caused multiple injuries in the physical game. A short clip from the video has been making rounds on social media platforms, further amplifying the debate of whether or not transgenders should be allowed to participate in the women's circuit. KIPP Academy also offers a boys' basketball team. The male student reportedly stood over 6 feet tall with visible facial hair. The transgender was not a new player, as the person has been on the roster since the beginning of the season. Kyle Pelcher, athletic director at Collegiate, stated the decision to forfeit the game was made by team coach Kevin Ordens. Unlike years before, young women are dealing with the frustration of males deciding to play in their sports and dominate as a result.
That's ridiculous. That guy had a hair bun.
Yeah.
The man bun.
He had the man bun.
And a beard.
The kid's 6 feet tall, and he's just whipping these female players.
You know what? Yeah, because I played ball, all right? I played professional ball in high school. That's just a kid who didn't make the cut. And now he's like, well, I'm a girl then.
How dare you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just, it's just a horrible thing, and it's dangerous to women. And it's not just there. We're talking about, there's women in rugby in Canada that are creaming girls. And then, of course, they're just beating them also, like Leah Thomas and swimming and other sports as well.
Well, I mean, this to me is one of the reasons why I do think that women have a hard time getting into sports initially. I'm big into sports. I watch a lot of different sports, and so you don't see what I see at times. But they're even doing commercials right now that are talking about how younger women are like body shaming themselves because how they look in their uniforms. Not to even mention the whole how they're playing, but just how plain they look. and then you bring in a hair bun guy with a beard, and it's just gonna make them think of themselves worse, and
Why,
that
'cause
I
they-
don't
why, 'cause-
belong.
Why? Because they don't have a beard? What are you saying?
You know
No, I'm.
what I'm saying
what's your
is
point?
my point is that they already have problems that they're going through mentally and emotionally. Okay, as a young girl, and then a guy comes into their team,
Okay.
or a guy, or they're facing a guy, and they're like, "Is this what I'm supposed to be?" Like it's almost like they don't know, and it's even harder for in the day and age now where you're going against guys
Yeah. And
who just say, "I want to be a girl,"
yeah.
and they can't do that themselves. They can't say, "I want to be a guy." I mean, they can, but they're not gonna cope in the guys' market.
Yeah, well, and women fought for decades, and feminists fought for decades to get proper and good women's leagues playing for these various sports.
Yeah,
And now we got men competing in them.
yeah, and those men are just because they couldn't make it in the guys' leagues. It's really what it is.
Well, yeah, it could be that, and I'm sure that it is that sometimes. But even if it's because they want to be a woman or something like that, why do the women have to adjust to this guy's proclivities? It makes no sense.
Well, because everybody has to adjust, right?
Yeah, I guess we're all supposed to. But the thing is, on the left, there has been this push to say that transgender women are actually women. And let's just define our terms here really, really quickly. There's a difference between sex and gender, okay? And by sex, we mean biological sex, what you're born with, who you are when you're born, and that's going to be male or female. Gender, on the other hand, is speaking about what person thinks they are, wants to be, believes they are, wishes they were.
I wish I was Spider-Man.
Yeah, so do I. Well, no, I don't want to be Spider-Man.
You don't wanna be Spider-Man.
I want to be Batman.
I'd kick your ass.
Eddie. Where you gonna, you can't do it.
If I'm
Outside of
Spider-Man, I would definitely kick your ass, please.
outside of a city,
please.
you can't do anything.
Please.
Anyway, there's this new study out, which supposedly clarifies the issue. And in this new study, it tested the theory that the left has this theory, of course, that transgender women and biological women are the same. They're both women, so they're the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it tested this theory. And according to this study is conducted by Dr. John Armstrong of King's College London, Dr. Alice Sullivan of University of College of London, and George Perry, an independent American researcher. They analyzed the results of 21 races from the New York Road Runners non-binary category, where both biological men and women compete. The data revealed that there was, in fact, a sex gap between biological male and female runners.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you believe
An
that?
epiphany.
Yeah. Biological men and biological women have different times
What?
when running the race. This is astonishing, isn't it? Who would have thunk it?
Man, we have moved so far into science. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, the scientists, I can't wait. They're going to tell us next that dogs don't get along with cats. I don't know. And they also said there was zero evidence to support the case that the gap was smaller due to them being non-binary. That is to say, non-binary or trans women were faster than biological women, just like men were. So the fact that you are a trans woman doesn't make you any, or at least very much slower than just a regular man would be. A trans woman is going to be stronger, faster than a biological woman.
Yeah, and there's no proof to prove otherwise, right?
Right, and common sense goes
Other than
against it
common
as
sense.
well.
Yeah, we're not using common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, you would agree with me. Common sense went out the window with COVID.
How dare you?
After COVID, there is no common sense left. I don't feel. Other than you and me, we hold the common sense bubble, right?
I think most people do. I think
I don't believe in most people.
by definition, common sense is common. So
Common between you and me, Sean. It's our common. Come on, man.
I reckon it is, but you know what? I think a lot of people on the left really don't believe what they're saying either. They just, it's like a religion to them. It's a profession of faith. They can't go against it, or they're rejecting the faith, and they'll be outcast from among their own people. But this guy, Dr. Armstrong, said that gender identity is clearly important to many people, but nevertheless, sex matters. Boom shakalaka.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it actually matters more. Given the lack of empirical evidence supporting gender identity theory, one should not assume by default that gender identity is more powerful than sex. like we all needed to be told this stuff. But I guess in this day and age, we need to be.
Well, no, I don't need to be. This purple wearing long haired man that we opened the show with, he don't tell me nothing. I don't listen to him one bit.
He didn't tell you nothing, did he?
No, nothing.
Not. All right. Nah, man, I'm with you, and you know what? A lot of other people are too. In fact, I think the majority of people are. A lot of people don't say so because they don't want to be accused of being transphobic.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with being
Transphobic.
It's not. I hate. This is what I hate about it. Okay, it's not phobic. I am not afraid of
There
these
you go.
people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Phobic is afraid.
Yeah.
Right. Arachnophobia. You are afraid of a spider. That's arachnid. I am not afraid of these people.
Yeah.
I just don't like.
I don't like or dislike them. In fact, I don't care what they do. They can do whatever they want. I mean,
Why? Why? Just
I got
because
no
you
care.
don't disagree, you're afraid of it.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what they say. They put phobe on everybody that disagrees with them. You know, you're an ist or an phobe. You're either a racist or a transphobe or an e, and meaning you're a misogyny or misogynist.
Yeah.
It's just it's a bunch of nonsense. But I don't hate these people. I don't care what they do. But why are they enforcing their lifestyle, their beliefs, and in fact, what I consider to be their sexual proclivities on the rest of us? Why do we all have to play the game?
Well, because you're afraid of it, I guess. Because you're phobic.
Apparently so. I'm willing to live and let live, but they're not.
No.
But when this was released, there were people. It had kind of exploded on the internet, and believe me, there were a lot of folks like this, and they responded saying things like, for one internet responder said, "Scientists rediscover that men outperform women in sports, a fact previously known through all of human existence up until the last 5 minutes."
The last 5 minutes being after COVID, I guess.
Yes, I know that.
I don't know why COVID's my marker, but a lot of things happened during COVID, and people just lost all logic of mentality. So COVID's my marker.
Yeah,
It happened before COVID, I know. But
no, society got pretty weird during and after COVID. And then yet another social media user wrote, he was speaking to the doctor himself. He said, not to disrespect your work, but isn't this absolutely bloody obvious to the most casual observer?
wait, bloody? He's dead bloody?
I'm guessing
that means he's British. Huh?
I'm guessing it's a Brit.
So the Brits know what's going on, and we don't. That's bad, man. That's bad.
But yeah, this fellow Armstrong, this doctor, he said, yeah, I understand this, but he said, the scientific community, they've been kowtowed. I mean, they've been pushed around.
Well, I mean, it's like what you said. They don't want to say no, so they want to try to find things that prove that it's the way that society has changed. Say.
He said that according to Scientific American, that's a major, obviously scientific journal. He said that they wrote the inequity between male and female athletes is a result not of inherent biological differences between the sexes, but of biases in how they are treated in sports.
Yeah, sure.
So he's saying that Scientific American says the differences between men and women aren't actual biological differences, but they're just a result of the way women are treated. Somehow people were, I don't know, not treating women right, so therefore they don't get the.
So they don't get the extra, strength.
Yeah, they're not stronger. They're
they
not
don't
faster.
get the extra speed.
If they were treated more equitably.
Well, in that clip we showed, the bearded hair bun guy really whipped that girl around on the ground, and then she was in pain.
Yeah,
But that must just be because she don't understand.
Along with two other players.
Yeah, well, they just don't understand.
Yeah.
Their pain only comes from their mental state of not understanding where society is, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, and I think, yeah, okay. So people would say, well, why not just let them play? Okay, why not let them play? Well, because of the video we showed earlier of women getting injured, but also because it's an unfair competition.
It's extremely unfair. Let's say we put the NFL and the what do they call it, the Powder Puff League together, women's football. They would kill them. Like I could actually see women dying because a man practically died on the field last year up in Buffalo, and that's man on men. So you want to put a woman in the mix of that? I feel like they would actually die.
They could. No, man, there could definitely be, at the very least, serious injuries, if not death.
I'm not a LeBron James fan. I actually can't stand LeBron James. But that man is a Mack truck coming at you, and a woman trying to stop him or having the strength to stop him, you got to have a really strong built woman that's probably 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And that ain't common.
Yeah, that's pretty uncommon. Anyway, I think a good illustration of this, like everything else that happens in society and the world, is a clip from South Park. If we could roll that.
I can't tell you how free I feel now that I've started identifying as a woman. Now that I can compete as female, I'm ready to smash the other girls.
And is it correct you just started identifying as female 2 weeks ago?
I'm not here to talk about my transition. I'm here to kick some f***ing ass. Let me tell you something, Dingleberry.
David Perry.
I'm gonna roll up the other women here, and I'm gonna smoke them. I am the strongest woman this state has ever seen.
Any words for the challenger, Miss Woman?
Good luck, Heather.
Luck is for dudes.
I love how he says, any words for the challenger, Miss Woman? And she's like, good luck. Luck is for dudes.
Yeah, that's not Macho Man Randy Savage. It's Macho Ma'am. It's Ma'am.
Well, I'm glad he finally became the strongest woman in the state. I think he was always there if he did whatever he decided to do. So we're going with all this. I feel like it's a need for us to kind of take it to what the norm should be, right? I mean, we talk constantly about trans men or trans women going into different sports and how it could be unfair, but we don't need that type of equality. We don't need the type to change things to make it equality. And I feel like there's a lot of sports now that, every sport takes the gap away. You have golf, you have women's golf. You have men's basketball, you have women's basketball. You have a men's football, you have women's football. You have men's soccer, you have women's soccer, right? It's always a gap. But that doesn't mean that in their sports, they're not talented in themselves, right? And that they're not doing great things within themselves. Right now is very key for us to bring this up because there's this woman in college basketball. Her name is Caitlin Clark. Put a picture of Caitlin Clark up for us. Caitlin Clark, just keep that up for a little bit. She plays basketball at Iowa, okay, for the NCAA women's division. All right, Division I. This girl is one of the best basketball players I have seen in years in college sports. All right. So first of all, not only did she break the women's college basketball record
Okay.
which was done by Kelsey Plum. It was 3,527 points. All right,
And how long?
in approximately 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
Okay. Caitlin destroyed that. She broke that record. She's right now at 3,650. Okay. And she has only done it in 3 years. All right.
Wow.
She'll be a senior next year. And she said, I'm not going to stay. I'm going to go to the WNBA. All right. So why would I bring this up? Other than it's a hot button topic.
Yes, why would you?
Because she's going to break the men's all-time scoring record in college basketball made by Pete Maravich. Put her and Pete up. So Pete Maravich is a basketball player back in the 60s, all right, who played at LSU, and then he went to the Utah Jazz. This guy changed basketball on how we see it today, all right? His record is 3,676. She's only 18 points away.
So she's going to get the record.
Yeah. Oh, she's going to destroy it.
Yeah.
Now, I will have to say, by the time we're recording this right now, she hasn't broke the record. But by the time that you guys see this, it'll be after the time where she probably will already break the record.
All right.
Right? It's only 18 points. And guess what, John? She averages 28 points a game.
Wow. That's
So-
astonishing.
So, yes, is she playing in the men's basketball, the men's college basketball division?
No.
No. But she's breaking their records.
Well, she's allowed to flourish, though, because she's competing against women. If she had to compete against men, it might be a different story. It's not. It's totally unfair.
I would agree with that.
To have trans guys knocking her down and being all over her and all that other kind of crap.
Right, I would agree with that. And I would say that if you put a guy who wants to be a trans woman and you put him in the women's sport, well, these records won't last long.
Right.
But for someone who isn't trying to do any of the trans, I'm just sticking with, the women. She's a proud woman who's going to do her thing. She's going to go to the WNBA, probably make buttload of money, right? She already has contract deals with State Farm and other things in college. She's breaking the men's all-time record. And this is something to me that shows what really is equality.
Yeah. Well, I've got a daughter and 2 granddaughters, and I feel very strongly about this. I know you have a daughter too, and they should be able to compete in a fair and righteous league as far as sports are concerned, or any that sort of thing.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, my daughter right now doesn't do sports. She was when she was younger, but she's into art right now. So art isn't something that is physical, right? But she has talent in it, right?
Right. Well, she can do as well as men or better than
My goddaughter that we both know, she's big into basketball. She loves basketball, right? She should be able to compete and use people like Caitlin as a model. We're saying it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. I can beat any record you have.
Well, it's
Score
just the same thing with my granddaughter Aria. She loves basketball. You used to coach her.
You're right.
So yeah.
Yeah, to me, this is what equality is when it comes to sports. It's like if you have a skill, then you could be better in that skill than a man or a woman, depending on what the record was. And I think Caitlin does a very good job of that. And that's a hot button topic right now just because she is all over sports in the college realm.
That's outstanding.
So this has been another episode of Sun to Sun. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, please comment at the bottom and look for us next time. And don't forget to subscribe.
Please do.